Can you ask him to turn on that top light for me? If you can hear me, Jeff. Need one more light on. Thank you. Well, I believe we're getting close to being live. The game has reached halftime, everybody. Taking a break from sports, and now we're going to talk a little bit about weather. So we should be now live on Facebook. Good evening, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Gerard Jebaily. Going to be talking a little bit about the weather. Of course, we had the snow around today, and then we had the cold. The cold's getting a lot worse out there, so we are weather alert still, not for the snow, but for the cold. We're going to be talking about this, and I'm going to give you guys a chance to tune in, give you a chance to ask some questions. We've had a lot of weather, and we've got more to come. So this is what we're expecting here. As I also check in on Facebook myself, I'm going to be trying to follow along and checking in on your questions too. So I've got the live stream up, and you guys can just write them down there. I'll come back and I'll read. So we'll give everyone a few minutes. So again, the snow today was one big headache, especially as we move into now. A lot of folks, you might be out at watch parties. You might be out trying to get something to eat during halftime. Everyone, please be very careful. It has gotten a lot colder, and because of that, whatever was on the ground, even if it was just a little bit of slush, could be a frozen sheet of ice right now. The temperatures have dropped a lot, and things have frozen over. Please be careful. So the core of the Arctic blast that is coming is the problem. It'll be a frigid start to the evening, but our storm system that produced all the snow is already pulling away. We're not going to see much more snow. Pretty much what we've seen has pretty much all of it. That's about it. We might see a few flakes flying out there, but on the radar you can see it's not much. Just confined to a few spots over here near southern Carroll County and over towards Frederick County. That is quickly starting to shrivel up. We are not going to see another big snow event, I don't see, anytime soon. But this colder air is going to be a big problem. But let's talk about the snow that we did see. So let's start a little bit on the wider picture here. As you know, some places across the bay, about 1.5 inches, Annapolis, down to the south of Baltimore, less than ½ an inch in many locations. But as soon as you cross I-95, those totals went up. Anywhere from 2 inches, near 4 inches, especially up north and west. We are expecting the highest totals to be more north and west. And while that was likely to be in the 4 to 6 inch range up here, this was a big bust. I will be the first to admit we did not get that forecast right today. 2 degrees difference in temperature made all the difference. But you can also tell still how big of a difference from one side of Baltimore to the other had with snow totals. Again, these are radar estimated. We have not gotten the official numbers yet because the snow has just ended. We're waiting on those to be collected for people to give their measurements. But everywhere from on the very low end, ½ an inch, south side, where we knew this would be the lightest accumulations, with the highest amounts to the north and west. So Reisterstown, about 3½ inches or so, near around 2½ inches up here towards Cockeysville, Timonium, and up towards Bel Air. Lower performing snow event. We are expecting around 2 to 4 inches, relatively speaking, across all of Baltimore, but only half of it got there. Just that 2-degree temperature means that we had a little bit more rain. So luckily, we are 2 for 1 on the winter storm forecasts, getting them accurately, at least getting them correct. Today was not one of them, I'll admit that. All right, let's talk about what is going to happen. This is the issue. From here on, again, whatever's on the ground, whether it was just a little bit of rain, slow going out, the bridges will be especially treacherous if you're not going slow enough and they've not got a huge layer of salt on them. That could be a big issue. And again, don't forget, you can leave your questions on here. I'm going to go. This is already cold enough to cause a lot of problems with icing. And now, of course, the wind has picked up, and we're going to see those wind chills increasing as we move through the night. Teens to even low teens is going to be the problem. This is only the half of it. While our temperatures were near average, now we're getting the worst of that Arctic blast to come in on Tuesday and then on Wednesday. This is going to be the worst of it. So here's what we can expect here. Watch these numbers here on FutureScan. We'll continue to see the breeze tomorrow, so MLK Day is not exactly going to be a good one to be outside in. I know they've canceled a lot of the parades, the inauguration, a lot of impacts to that, as this is going to be our temperatures to start the morning. Teens, but the wind chill is going to be worse, and then we're only going to get to low 20s. We're looking pretty dry, some sunshine, but very cold still. A stray flurry is possible, but we're not going to say it's going to really count for a lot. Watch our temperatures drop. Frigid air continues to build in. This is Tuesday morning. single-digit temperatures. The wind chills will be worse than this. We'll show you that in a second. But even by around 6 a.m., we're only going to be in the low teens. So watch this, your temperature tracker. We were up near average to start Saturday, and we're in the 30s today at best. And now temperatures are falling dramatically. Again, 20s on Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday, it'll be hovering in the 20s to teens before we come back up the hill. We might get closer to average again once we get into late next weekend. But this is a core of the cold that's going to hit. Now let's show you those wind chills. Not very good. 2 degrees, 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Only 3 degrees in the middle of the afternoon. The wind is going to be a factor there, but -4 is what it's going to feel like on Tuesday morning. It might get up to around 9 degrees with lighter winds on Tuesday for the wind chill, but -8 for the wind chill on Wednesday morning. Now, this is not just winter. It is not just January. This is extreme cold to the point that this is dangerously cold. Frostbite can happen within 30 minutes or less if you leave your skin exposed, and that is a very unsightly thing. Painful, I might add, too. You don't want to have that. It might be numb to begin with, but once it thaws, you don't want to get that either, and that could be a real issue. All right, 7-day forecast quickly. We're weather alert for Tuesday and Wednesday because of that extreme cold. You can see those single-digit lows, but again, the negative wind chills is also the problem. But we start to come up the hill. We are mostly dry going into the weekend. I'm watching for the end of the week if we see any precipitation, but it doesn't look like much. All right, I'm going to grab my phone real quick, and we'll see if we have any questions. School closings. I do not have school closings. Remember, tomorrow's a holiday, so they'll probably make those decisions tomorrow. I would not expect to see many school closings, at least in the very early stages right now. They will assess and they'll look and see. The cold's going to be an issue. I don't know if they'll be able to treat the roads enough to get all the ice off, but that is going to be a problem because at temperatures this. But good question. Again, you can tune in, answer, or ask your questions. Try to answer them if I can get to them. Let's see what some of the comments might be rolling up on. Again, these are rolling questions, so it's tough for me to see them unless I see them pop up. But feel free to ask them. Otherwise, if we're done here, I can easily just say, let's hope to have a better half of football. The Ravens have not exactly been performing like we need them to. Underperforming Ravens and underperforming storm systems have been the form of the day. Let's hope that at least one of those will improve and do much better. So again, the winter weather, at least the snow part, is over, but the cold is just beginning. It's going to get a lot worse, as you can see here, and that's why we are weather alert for Tuesday and Wednesday. One last check. You can do your questions down here if, well, we've got a couple more, but if you would like, I can just answer them online, and we can get back to whatever it is that you're checking in on. Please be safe tonight if you are headed home from a watch party or anywhere, because it is very, very icy out there. I want to make sure everyone gets home safe. Have a great night, and go Ravens.